Today we talk Chris Brown, Zika, Hillary Clinton, Miss America, Chris Brown, Ryan Lochte, Bel Biv Devoe, Iggy Azalea, Chris Brown, and more on the Nate Jackson list, Headlines with Headliners. Uh-oh, the song is back.
Oh, yeah.
How do we have the song when Nate's not even here?
Because it's his memory. We gotta live it on for him.
He's not gone. He's just gone for today.
Well, his spirit is here. Hey.
Oh my gosh, this song. You guys in this song.
Come on, you're in the seat. You gotta at least do the shoulder. Yeah.
What's he do? He does the...
Yeah. And then he hits him with a... Hey.
What if I just couldn't stop? What if I just couldn't stop like this?
The whole time, you're just like, yeah, so Chris Brown.
Yeah, Nate Jackson he's not gone. We love Nate. Nate is on the road doing his thing.
Yes.
So I'm filling in as host of the show. I'm Tehran von Ghasri, impeccable, impenetrable. I'm just amazing.
Hey.
Find me at I Am Tehran. And of course, my lovely co-host,
Miss Kanisha Bus. You can find me at Kanisha is Comedy.
Where did that voice come from right there? I don't know. Where did that voice come from?
I don't know. It's my red lipstick voice.
Oh wow, you have that red lipstick and the red flower, which makes you amazing today.
Thank you.
Like you're on your 1,000 right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got the jacket. You got okay, looking fly.
Girls is tanned all up. You know, from the beach party where I fell asleep.
Must be the oxy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, because your leg.
I am halfway high. Medical reasons.
That's what they all say. By the way, that's what they all say. Medical reasons.
Everybody knows my knee is messed up. I had a very harsh physical therapy before I got here, and. These meds are fantastic.
but do you feel like you need the meds?
I only take them when I need them, which is all the time. Yes, I can tell the big difference when I don't have them.
You do. You feel like a difference because the statistic is like 75% of all drug-related deaths are actually pharmaceutical or prescribed drugs.
Yes.
And that's crazy to me because I had no idea. I always assumed it was heroin or meth or whatever else is crack. But well, it's I
didn't know crack was still killing people, but if it's out there.
Listen, crack is still real. And to me, I never understood how there are new crack users. Like, how can you see another crackhead and then still become a crackhead?
That type of failure?
Like, you see the crackhead. He's like, oh, yeah, can I get a burger? I'll suck you. And then next thing you know, like, Pookie was a movie. Like,
it's the same reason why people still go to McDonald's. You know what you're just like, you know what? I need it.
Yeah, I still really like McDonald's.
I see, there you go.
McDonald's. I really like McDonald's. All right, well, story number one today. We're going to start off with the story that actually happened a couple weeks ago, but it came right back. Chris Brown is no stranger to drama. The sometimes R&B singer took to Instagram to protest his latest run-in with the law after allegedly pulling a gun out on former beauty queen Bailey Curran at a recent party at his house in Tarzana, California. The singer is alleged to pull the gun out and tell Curran to get the F off his property after she tried to touch a diamond necklace that was showcased in his home. Brown's home was then surrounded by police and SWAT, which we all kind of saw because it was live on the news and people's Facebook and Snapchat feeds all over. And a standoff, after the standoff, which is what the police are calling it, while Brown was just calling it a waiting period till his lawyer got there.
Or at least a warrant. But.
Exactly, for a warrant for something. Brown was arrested for felony assault and is currently out on $250,000 bond. While the story took place 2 weeks back, new evidence shows that no gun or jewelry was found on the scene.
Yes, the jewelry that she's saying, because of course she described a diamond cross, because, you know, black people, we love our diamond Jesus.
Love them. That's exactly what she described, actually.
That's exactly what she said. She was like, well, I know that if I say a diamond cross, everybody's going to believe me. So, and watching her story, she's absolutely ridiculous. I knew it was lies from the beginning, even the way that she said she was cussed out. She was like, and they kept calling me a whore. And I was like, that's a white woman's word. My mother says that all the time. Nobody calls you
Don't you
whore.
know rappers use the word hoe?
Yes.
Come on, Bailey. You know, it's interesting. Actually, they found out during the course of the investigation that Bailey is wanted in New York for questioning regarding a theft of a wallet and other properties at a New York upscale hotel.
Yes.
So I don't know if Bailey's telling the truth or Chris Brown is telling the truth. It's not like this is Chris Brown's first run-in with the law.
No, it's not. So it's easier to pin something on him. But they also, which they are investigating now, is she was mad when they asked her to leave. They have the text messages of her saying that she was going to set Chris Brown up. So those text messages are being investigated right now to make, for authenticity or whatever. But yeah, so I never believed it. Chris, I know he has some run-ins with the law, but this just doesn't seem like his forte.
But we seem to have a problem believing the stories of women when it comes to these kind of situations, especially with superstars. We had a hard time believing the victim of alleged sexual rape and assault with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
We had a hard time with everyone that accused Bill Cosby until the 40th woman came out. And now we have another situation where a young lady is saying that she was at least she was threatened by Chris Brown. Even if she wasn't actually assaulted, she was threatened for her life. And we're having a hard time believing it. And when I say we, I'm including me, because I don't believe her either. You know what I'm saying? She just sounds like she's lying. And I know some people that know her, which makes it even crazier, because they are telling me that she's lying as well, that she does things like this for attention. She's actually had I don't know her. I've never met her. That she's made racial slurs before and things of this nature. Can I see Chris Brown waving a gun at a girl?
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Breezy.
Okay.
I
wouldn't put it
I'm not
past
putting
him.
it past Chris Breezy. Do I see him kicking a girl off his property? Once again, not putting that past Breezy.
Yeah.
Do I think he would just do that for no reason? And that's something I do put past him. I don't think Chris Brown doesn't seem the unprovoked type. He seems the easily provoked type, which is a very big difference in my book. And there's actually some good videos. First, I want to go to the video of Chris Brown. This is what he put on Instagram live.
Yeah, because I was watching it like, somebody leave my baby alone, please. I'm coming, Chris.
Let's hit play.
You know I love him.
I just wake up, all these motherfucking helicopter choppers is around, police out there at the gate. Come on, my nigga. What the fuck else do y'all want from me, bro? I stay out of the way, take care of my daughter.
But that hair,
do work. I don't even fuck ugly bitches, trifling bitches, whatever
we
the fuck
show
it
this?
is. I'm not on that, bro. I'm way too tired and want to be dealing with this bullshit.
It's the news.
Y'all, every 3 months, y'all got tired of me, right? It gotta be. Every 3 months, y'all come up with something, bro. What is it? What's gonna be next?
He's so tired.
I'm a fart an elephant. Come on, my nigga. But at the same time, when I call the police for stalker people that are endangering my life, they don't come to the next day. Let somebody make a fucked up allegation about me, and oh yeah, the whole fucking SWAT team. My nigga, I'm innocent. Fuck everybody. I'm tired of hearing this shit.
That's where we're gonna have to leave. I'm gonna tell you why, because that's the course of the video.
Yes.
It goes on. I'm lucky that we were able to find that one clip, because it's been wiped off the face of social media in its entirety. It was taken down as soon as it was put up. I'm sure his lawyers stepped in and said, let's take that down, Chris. However, he makes a very valid point when he says when he calls the police, no police come. Then there's Bailey Kern makes one allegation of something he did on his own property, and SWAT. When I say SWAT,
oh man,
SWAT. Like it was like there was somebody getting shot and killed in Compton who had no recourse of 911 because everybody was
right there on that
at
property.
Chris Brown's house for an allegation, something that was unconfirmed. We do have video of Bailey Kern as well, so if we can play that.
Honestly,
This is
I
Bailey.
wanted this and I caused this. If somebody put a gun to your head, what would you do? Call the police?
First of all, that just seems like she's looking for attention, because I've actually had a gun pulled on me, and the last thing I'm going to do is make social media going. I didn't want this. I didn't want this with you. And somebody called TMZ. Who called TMZ? I want to know that. I feel like from what they were saying, is she called TMZ as well, and they have an unlisted number. So again, it's attention seeking to me. It looked, she doesn't, I don't know. And maybe people handle guns being pulled on them differently. I've had it happen, and that is not how I acted afterwards.
Well, I don't want to blame the victim ever. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I can only go based on what I think. My opinion is obviously that there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth, and hopefully the truth will come out, and hopefully the truth shall set Chris Brown free because he deserves it. Everyone has an opinion on this specific situation. And we can always say, well, I wouldn't have acted like that. Well, we don't know how someone else would have acted.
That's very, very true.
But I do know that other people had an opinion, and Nikki Swaggy P, who is a neighbor of Chris Brown's, had an opinion, and his opinion actually went super viral because of what he said and how he said
Let's
it.
hear it.
Lord. Hey, man. Chris Brown, man. He gotta move, man. Go on, get away from over here, please. You're making the block hot, buddy.
Yeah, that's so
My
real.
friend, but she gotta go. Got SWAT teams and helicopters flying over my head. I'm thinking after me. You only have about 5 or 6 black people over here anyway. You're gonna have to go farther up, man, because the way we looking, they gonna take me, you, gonna cut us short. I don't wanna get cut short from over here, man. They really only want 2 of us over here, though. At this rate, you gonna make it 1. Please. I like you, man. You're my dog. We go out, but you go out away from over here. Go.
What's sad is from his house,
man,
everybody
but-
knows it's Chris Brown's house.
Peace.
Oh my gosh. It's just so funny because like it was like a plea. Like,
Yes.
please move. Like that's something you would expect of the white neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want your kind around here. And it's Nick Swaggy P Young, who's not like the most who's not the most normal or just complacent black person himself. He's not this. He plays a little bit of the stereotypical role.
Oh, yes,
every
he
now and then.
does. He acts a straight fool as well. That's what makes it even funnier.
So it's just funnier that his plea is like, and he says, you're making the block hot. That's real.
I love it. Block is hot.
The block is hot right now because of Chris Brown's antics, making it sound like this is happening every other day.
And that's exactly what I felt like. Like, man, it's like the 8th time, Chris. Like, how much longer you gonna keep having this happen? Because they know exactly where they're going. He's seen the helicopter. Was like, yeah, they on their way to Chris's.
Yeah,
before
like
they
he's
got
bringing
there.
down the property value. Like, Chris, you need to move, bro. Like he's like he's talking to him, and I would be very interested to know Chris Brown's reaction to this particular video. If he was upset, if he thought it was funny.
I think he would have laughed.
a lot
He
of
seems
people
like
do.
he would have just laughed that off.
He does seem like a very amicable young man.
Yes.
You know, I kind of know Chris. He's always been very friendly and amicable. I do think he's a bit of he can be hot-tempered. I haven't seen it personally, but I've seen, obviously, the repercussions as we've all seen it unfold. So
But when people are steady poking you, it's easy to look hot-tempered because after 1,000 pokes, you've seen 1,001, and then you've seen my reaction.
And if you're having the wrong people around you, the people who are instigating instead of trying to just reverberate and reciprocate this situation and just make it easier and calm and like reciprocate a peaceful peace. Just,
See, Chris need to just have me around him because then he don't got to deal with females. Be like, oh, she tripping. I got her, Chris.
Yeah,
like
you'll
I would
take
have
the
put her
charge.
out. That's what I would have done, so that you don't even got to deal with no more women. So, Chris, if you're listening, I am gonna come with you and handle every woman that gets on your nerves. Like I need to talk to you for a minute.
That's so real. That's so real.
I would.
In more tragic news, caused by white women, South Carolina was the recent site of a massacre.
Yes.
Unfortunately, but the massacre contained millions of bees were killed as the decision to release a Zika virus killing toxin by plane rather than truck poisoned the bee population when trumpet, a known poison, was released into the atmosphere. Bees are a vital part of the ecology locally and globally. We even make movies about bees disappearing, and here we killed millions in an attempt to kill the Zika virus. And we don't really even know what the Zika virus is. We just know it's bad. And it shrinks babies' heads.
Yeah, we've had a patent on it for years. We won't go into that. Listen.
Wow. Wow.
I'm allergic to bees, and I still don't want bees to leave. Like, I know how important they are. If a bee flew in here right now, I would fly out of this room. I'm terrified of bees. I'm scared of bees.
You're
but
allergic
I know,
to bees?
Yes, I'm allergic to bees. EpiPen allergic to bees. But I know how vital they are to the world, so I don't want to see this happen. Like, I don't.
Like the concept we've always kind of been like, I don't know if we were raised with, but it's been implanted in our heads over time, is that if bees disappear, we're next.
Yes, that's true.
That's like a thing. That's the way of thinking. I feel like if bees are gone, we're gone. I even remember, I don't, was it the Mark Wahlberg movie with the M. Night Shyamalan,
whoa.
and something like that with the trees and the bees were disappearing, and it was just like, oh, but the bees are gone. And that was like the whole point. Only thing I remember, I don't even remember what the trees were trying to attack us. I just remember when the bees were gone, we were next.
So like, there ain't no more bees. I'm like, I woke up this morning.
And I wonder whose exact decision that was, because that was an executive decision.
But that's ridiculous. I always wonder who's the people in the meeting, because there's always got to be somebody in the meeting going, "You guys, we can't do this." Like,
there's that one scientist, that one that no one believes.
Yes.
Don't listen to Tom. He's crazy.
Yes.
And because Tom's always got like crazy hair and just dressed sloppy, but he's the smartest one in the room. And he's like, "We can't, guys. You got to understand. The repercussions are too grand."
Yes.
And then they're like, "Oh, Tom."
And now he's gonna show up to the next meeting.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
What did I tell you?
He's holding bees and they're falling up.
Like they're just falling out of his hands. I mean, we're making light of a situation, but it's tragic. The bees are dead. People who grew bees lost their entire beehives. And you know, we all take honey for granted. It takes like 1 million bees for 1 teaspoon of honey
and
or something
I have organic
astronomical.
honey at home, and it is phenomenal.
Well, that's the
and what
thing.
am I going to do without this?
I mean, and you know, honey lasts forever.
Forever and ever.
Forever. So you can get honey that's like 3,000 years old and it still tastes the same and it's fresh. And
well, I'm going to have to start stocking up on honey, obviously. I'm going to need a whole house full of honey, because if they keep doing this, there ain't going to be no bees, no flowers. And my thing is, it killed the bees, but what else is it killing that we don't know? What's going to be the long-term effects of this? Because that was the immediate effect. What else is going to start falling out of the sky? You know what I'm saying?
I think that people are eventually
Oh,
going to
yeah,
start. Because
I forgot.
it's not like the people weren't breathing in the same air. It might just not affect you as easily, but in 20 years, there's going to be a new form of cancer, and everyone in South Carolina just happens to have it, and everyone's going to act like that's not a thing.
Like, this is what's
there's
wrong
no
with
direct
me.
correlation. We didn't do a study. Well, the study is they got it and the rest of the people don't. So we'll see what happens.
Yes.
This will unfold. I mean, I know you want some more honeys in your house.
Yes.
So did Chris Brown. You saw how that one ended. Going on to presidential nominees, since we're on the topic of white women, Hillary Clinton fainted briefly during the 9/11 memorial service in Manhattan. Her doctors claim it was a symptom of pneumonia and fatigue. Here's the thing. Clinton has canceled her top of the week schedule due to health scare, but has actually made it to the rest of her week's stuff. So while this happened just on Sunday, coming into Tuesday, she's making it to a lot of meetings. This isn't the first time that she's fainted.
Yeah.
Same thing happened in 2005. A similar thing happened in 2008. I mean, this is kind of like a constant reoccurring thing. And I remember in 2012, she actually lost the election, some say, because she cried. She cried at one of the speeches she was giving at one of the meet and greets. And so I wonder how this is going to affect her.
Crying made her lose.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of how they pinpointed it. It's kind of like if you remember Howard Dean was going to win. In 2000, he was going to win.
Yes.
And then he said, yeah! And that was the end of Howard Dean.
Oh, my gosh.
They made 18 minutes. It's like, yeah!
They had remixes and everything.
Songs.
But you would think in today's age that would make you win. Look at the foolery that is happening these days. I thought that would, make her win. But these things are exhausting. Like it is exhausting to run for anything. I ran for school president in high school, and I mean I fainted twice.
But that's
at the
thing.
pep assembly.
Did you win?
No.
Okay, well, that's the thing, is that you don't want a president that faints when things get exhausting. Being the president is even more exhausting, as we've seen with the presidents actually, that when they do the step-by-step of how white their hair gets over that 4 years to 8 years, and it's just like, whoa, it's a big difference. So we actually have the video of Hillary Clinton fainting on this campaign trail. If we can show this. There she goes. If you see that right there.
Yeah.
And look how quick Secret Service reacts. Look how quick they react. They block it from all angles. Now, that's a really good angle. There's another angle where you see more Secret Service than you do anything that happened with her. So she kind of just faints and they just carry her.
They caught
she
her
goes
quick.
limp and they take her to the van and they disappear into, where the men in black go. But went to the doctors. Doctors are saying she had pneumonia. which I think is still also kind of a big deal. Like,
Yeah, pneumonia is not something to play with. I don't even know how you just catch pneumonia, and maybe that's just me. But I always feel like elderly people in the hospital catch pneumonia, and that's it.
yeah, where
Where were you around the
I
pneumonia?
realize
Hillary?
we don't know a lot.
I-
Like, we don't know a lot. We just assume, like, when someone says, "Hey, I have cancer," or so and so has cancer, we don't even know what cancer really is.
No.
We just know it's bad.
Yes.
We don't know what Zika is. We just know it's bad. Pneumonia just sounds like a very big cold with lung problems.
Yes.
Like, we don't know anything else about pneumonia. We don't know we don't know where it starts. We don't know its anatomy. We don't know anything.
Is it
It's
contagious?
etymology.
I just need to know that.
It is contagious. So
Okay.
or at least I think it is. We don't know.
I just feel like you were somewhere that was really, really cold, and then you got sick. Like, that's how I've always equated pneumonia in the hospital.
Exactly.
It's cold, and now you have it.
You catch Do you catch it from the cold?
Yes.
And the thing is, and I say we as in us average people. Like, there are people obviously that do know.
Yeah.
We can look this up. We just don't. They got on Gary Johnson, who's also a presidential candidate, independent. When they asked him about Aleppo, he said, "What's Aleppo?" And they just made that a big deal. And Aleppo, of course, is in Syria. It's a big deal. It's going on. But we didn't know that either. It's not like we all knew what Aleppo was and he didn't. We're just making a big deal that he didn't know.
I'm just waiting
he's
for you
running
to tell
president.
me what it is. I'm sitting there, I still don't
Exactly.
know.
Like, what
Let
is
me tell her.
Aleppo? I thought it was a
Sound
like
like a
herpes
baby
medication.
leprechaun. Hey, there goes Aleppo, guys.
A baby leprechaun. But that's what I'm saying. You know what? We don't look up enough stuff. We don't know the real reasons. And that's something that I feel like while people are criticizing Hillary Clinton for fainting, and it's not like she didn't pass out because she's
Her
HIV
legs gave
positive.
out.
She just
Yeah.
fainted, you know? This isn't like, this could be something serious, it could not be. People faint. What is more alarming to me is the fact that we just don't know anything about anything.
Yes.
We just let other people tell us and we just kind of take it.
Have you
for
fainted
granted.
before?
I've never fainted.
I fainted, but that's because I ate avocado that had a parasite and it swole my colon outside of my body.
wow.
And I turned ghost white and just bloop, hit my head on the
So
sink.
how did they find that out even?
I got rushed to the hospital and they ended up giving me this shot with this big needle and it was a whole...
How did they know it was specifically this parasite though?
Well, that's what they told me. And yeah, it could have been anything, but that's what they said. It was a parasite from the avocado because it's the only thing I ate. And it's
Where
worse
were
than
you?
food poisoning. In Compton at my friend's house, getting ready to have some enchiladas. I was making the guacamole.
You make everything scary to me. You make everything scary
I
to me.
know, stupid stuff always happens to me.
Oh my gosh. More white women. Like, a new Miss America was crowned. Representing the state of Arkansas, Savvy Shields was crowned by a final judge panel that included Sierra, Gabby Douglas, and Mark Cuban. This year boasted the first openly lesbian contestant, Miss Missouri Erin O'Flaherty, and a questionable swimsuit competition because people are questioning why it still exists, as well as Mark Cuban licking his lips during said swimsuit competition, which was like a meme that's going viral because he's just like,
It's a bunch of women in swimsuits. Why wouldn't you lick your lips?
sure. Savvy Shields, how do you feel about her? Just her being her. Like, she's attractive, obviously.
Yes.
White woman, blonde hair, blue eye, very like cliche Caucasian in that way. Some people are criticizing that and saying, how did she win over other candidates that they felt were better? And I wonder if they just think they were better because of their look, as opposed, because she came off very articulate,
Yeah.
very fun, very genuine. And I don't know who deserved to win. She's not the person I found the most attractive, but I found her very competent.
Well, what are the
and that's what it
criteria?
is.
I need to see what are they judging off of? I guess that's how I would have to make my decision. Like, what are the actual points? What are you guys actually going off? Because if she was the best with her blonde hair and her blue eyes, and if she was the best, well, then we should not give it to her because she looks stereotypical of every other, majority Miss Americas. But
that she just is the best. Maybe she just really
might
did
really
an
just
amazing
be the
job.
best.
And I mean, from what I saw, when you have a panel of judges that is very diverse,
Yeah.
right? It's not like Sierra wasn't on that panel, right?
Yeah.
Gabby Douglas wasn't on that panel. And even Mark Cuban, who I actually trust Mark Cuban. Like, I feel like Mark Cuban is a very fair person. He comes off fair to me.
yes, is that who he licked his lips the most for? Because
no,
that might be
maybe.
like, how many lips was that?
We actually have a video of Mark Cuban licking his lips. Have you seen it?
No, actually, I haven't seen
You're
this
gonna
video.
love this. I mean, I had to dig deep because it was like a little snippet. But let's get Mark Cuban licking his lips if we can. It's like it's kind of in the closer. No, I think it plays. Yeah, see, that's her. That's Savvy Shields. And it didn't play. They might have taken, it might be if you go down more. If you go down, if you just go down to the middle right,
Yeah.
a little, try that one, that clip right there. Let's see what that one plays.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our quest.
Yeah, I mean.
I think just editing, huh?
No, it's the other one down in the middle. Like there could be one, there's more. If we look, there should be more of them. More down. That was O'Flaherty if you go in the red dress. Oh, this is it. This is the clip. This is Mark Cuban. CNN played it, but it was taken off social media, of course. Oh, it's not playing. It's not playing. It's okay.
It's all right.
If you just played it on the screen, it's fine. People will see it. Find it to know. CNN played it. They did a great job of covering this particular story and putting together a package of and that's Erin O'Flaherty, who's if you go up a little to the red dress, that is her in her red dress in her glory, who's the first openly lesbian
Hey, all right now.
Miss America contestant. And she actually had a strong chance of winning. She did very well. I'm sure there's been other lesbian or queer Miss Americas, but she was open about it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't necessarily know what to say about that. Like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect me.
It doesn't. I don't care.
There are people who I'm sure are against it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But I've noticed the people who are like anti-gay, all those and you have a stereotype of what they look like too, like the camo wearing, bearded, like no more gays.
Yeah.
They are not they're like anti-gay and then go home and watch lesbian porn. Like. It's when they say anti-gay, they mean guys, not hot girls.
Yes.
Like no one's anti-hot girl lesbians. No one. Like no one is except like a handful of hater girls, like who don't want their husbands and boyfriends watching them.
Oh, wow.
But that's the thing. It's funny because we always think about these things, but we don't realize like on average, this whole aspect of the LGBT community, like. They're just regular gay people who aren't hot and they just want to live their lives. If you're against gay marriage or against gay lifestyle, then don't marry a gay person. Like, don't be gay.
That's the best advice you've ever given me.
Like, I'll be even like, yo, you're right. Gay people shouldn't get married. Don't marry one.
Yeah,
That's how simple.
You go.
Well, just solve. Problem solved. That simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't not like the Miss America. You can't not like her based on her sexual orientation.
Yeah, that would just be ridiculous.
That's so stupid. Because then if it's based on her sexual orientation, I would have to veto all of them because none of them would like me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm not part of any of their sexual orientations.
There you go.
None of them are hooking up with me. All 50. I think we have more than 50 because I think Puerto Rico has a candidate,
Yes.
Washington D.C. has a candidate. So I'm sure there's 52, maybe Guam. So let's say, but it's 50 states plus
50-ish.
whatever territories
And
we
none
have,
of them
right?
want you.
And not a single one of them want me. Like not a single one of them want me. So her being lesbian is actually the equivalent of all of the other ones not wanting me as well.
You and most of the people complaining about it.
Exactly.
They don't want you anyway. So
Exactly.
let it be. I'm just, you know what I'm interested in? And the fact that people keep saying, let's get rid of the swimsuit competition. There's nothing wrong with the swimsuit competition. I always supported I'm not going to be in one, but there's nothing wrong with expressing your sexuality.
I've seen you in a
women are
swimsuit.
beautiful.
You can get it.
You know what? What? The juice is out. You
Yeah.
know, that's what my little orange is the new black. She just wore a swimsuit on the red carpet. What's her? I always want to call her Dahlia because that's her name.
That's her name on the show.
On the show, but you know,
Dahlia.
I said, "Oh, I'm wearing my thighs out Tuesday." She just was in all her glory, so I loved it.
Good for her.
You know what?
Swimsuit competition is, let's be honest, it's part of the ratings as well. People watch it for the swimsuit competition. I did like a specific tweet that was put out though, when one of the executives said that the swimsuit competition is to show their fitness, like how they're fit. And then someone said, well, then if it's about their fitness, why don't you do an American Ninja competition instead? And let's see how fit they really are. Because you're just looking at them and we don't know how fit they are. And it was just very interesting to me because that's actually a great point. I do think it's just for ratings. They did remove the swimsuit competition from the teen competitions. So that's been removed.
Okay.
But they've specifically said that in Miss America and Miss Universe, it is here to stay. And I do
Keep
believe
it. It's tradition. Stop. People always want to change tradition. It's been around. Just leave it as is. I love it. You're fine. If you don't want to do it, don't be in
I'd
the
love
competition.
to know what you guys think at home about the swimsuit competition. Please write in the comments below.
Yes.
Let us know what you think, especially about the swimsuit competition. Is it something that we should have or we shouldn't have? How you feel about it? Some people think it's very sexist. Other people just think it's realist. I personally have no specific opinion about it. Probably because I don't really watch Miss America. But if it existed or it didn't exist, I wouldn't watch it either way.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. Do I find it a little sexist? I don't know. If they had Mr. America, I would imagine that they would have a body competition.
they would.
I would imagine it'd be.
Or I wouldn't tune in.
Yeah, it would be quite the
That'd
same.
be my
Like
favorite part.
muscles. I mean, it's just a reality of the situation. It's physical, inner, and outer beauty, both. So
Yes.
it measures it all. So I don't know. Let us know what you guys think at home. Now to more. No, this time it's Chris Brown.
Yeah.
We're right back to Chris. I know.
I was gonna say more Chris, huh?
Yeah, it's more Chris this time.
You messing with him more than the feds do.
Oh, wow. And more Chris Brown news. The singer, at the request of his lawyer, has implemented a strict guest list policy for his residents, which includes a no-no list of certain rappers, guns, drugs, and or alcohol, and specifically females. The guest list must be approved before entering the R&B and singer's premises, even requiring his roommates and entourage to fill out guest list approval slips for their guests entering their home.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
I do not think it is. I think
But-
it's been much needed for Chris.
I feel like he needs it, but I'm upset. Like now I want to slap Bailey and Curry for
Because you can't go
Now,
because before
I am
we
out.
could have just went there.
now, yeah, now I gotta
Now-
get pre-approved. If
and
they're
we're
gonna
not
check my
getting-
background,
We're never getting
I
pre-approved.
got a weapons charge. Now I can't go.
We're never getting approved. Like we are never getting
I'm
approved.
never getting approved.
Just because there'll be no one who vouches enough for us to get in.
No,
Because they'll be like, Kanisha,
Did y'all see her at the beach party?
she invited, but I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm hurt right now. I just wanted to stroll up in there like beep, 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 beep. Now I'm at the front door.
We're
getting
never
checked
gonna get to
down.
go.
I carry a lock and a sock. Man, this is cold.
I don't think that we're going to be allowed to go. I think it is a great idea. He
Yeah.
should have probably implemented this before. He's been in trouble because of his entourage many times.
Yes.
And this is just a way to curb that. I mean, it must be amazing to be Chris Brown's lawyer. You must just get paid.
Oh my goodness, all day long.
So paid. Like, you don't even need another client.
No,
You're
that's
just,
it.
who do you represent? Chris Brown.
Now he's at the door checking. He just got the guest list. Now his lawyer
Yeah.
just sit there with the guest list. That is absolutely.
He's
But you
the
know what's
doorman.
crazy though? A particular designer at his house, he has gatherings, but you have to take a picture and you have to fill out that you're at his house, and they keep everything on file. Which in the first
wow.
time I experienced that, I was
Who-
like,
who does
"This
that?
is crazy." I don't know if I'm gonna say it on there.
Okay, it's just
But it's a big time designer. And
Tom Ford.
And it's crazy. But he does he loves black
Johnny Burberry.
He's an older white man who loves black women, which is crazy. And he does these pampering days. You can go get your nails done, all type of stuff. But you have to do a full sign in and everything.
Michael
Fingerprints.
Gucci.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You're naming all people who don't even like black people.
I mean, Tommy Hilfiger.
Definitely
Yeah,
a no.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I do think, I mean, it's good. You can't just waltz up in there. But could you imagine the rappers that are not allowed? Like, are they going to get a letter, or like, how do they know? Like, if you show up and you're like, look,
you know who
Suge.
you are. Gucci man, I'm sorry, you're not allowed in Chris Brown's house. Let's
Yeah,
be
who's
real.
the-
Like Gucci and Chris is not a good idea. If they do a song together, it's gonna be in jail. It's from the jail cell.
Hilarious.
There's
Young
like,
Alcatraz.
exactly. You know who's allowed in, and you know who's not gonna be allowed in.
But I just waiting for that one person to be surprised at the front door, like, what do you mean I can't get in? Like, I just can't wait for Birdman to be like, so I can't get in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I mean, and you know, Chris Brown is notorious for throwing some amazing parties and
Yes.
stuff. But it's something I feel like Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, these guys who've been in constant trouble, they need to be more careful. You are obviously in the limelight on purpose. That is your intent, is to be famous and in the limelight and be a superstar. And when you're known as much for your off stage antics as you are,
Yeah.
or maybe even more so than your on stage antics, that's a problem. And that's something like, I can't really list Chris Brown's last song, but I know the last run-in he had with the police. And I'm not saying this guy has hits,
Yeah.
but those hits are overshadowed by his hit on Rihanna and everything else that he's ever done.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, it's just something where you have to be more, in my opinion, you have to be more responsible and more aware.
You do, but I also feel like he should be able to live and not have to always be such, like, just always on guard. Like, I wish they would let him live. I think they nitpick at him for every little thing, which makes it look like so many other things that I think a lot of other artists get away with. So any little thing he does, they jump on.
But you know who can live? You know who lives very, like, just comfortable, can be himself?
Who?
The cashier at KFC. Nobody knows this nigga. You know what I'm saying? He can just live. He just exists. No one picks on him. When you put yourself in a situation where you accredit fame to your success, and that's something that you want, that's what you're after, that's what you feel like you deserve, well then with great power comes great responsibility. It's the same thing. And you're putting yourself in this position. I feel whenever famous people get mad at the paparazzi, I'm like, but you loved them when you were on the come up. So now that you're famous, you hate them? No, you have to take, it's a double-edged sword. You got to take the good with the bad. That's just how it works.
I do, but I definitely think he's changed so much since he had his daughter that I wish people would just let him live and breathe in that and just not hold everything against him.
Well, then maybe he should stop allegedly putting guns in white girls'
she's lying. She's goddamn lying.
She probably is, but we don't know and we won't find out. And more news about white women.
Yes.
Olympic swimmer, liar, and white privilege abuser Ryan Lochte, I just call him a white woman, I don't know, and friends were hurt after protesters rushed the stage at their Dancing with the Stars performance.
First of all, I don't even think it's appropriate for him to be on Dancing with the Stars. I'm going to just say that now. You can't cause all these problems, embarrass the country, and then you come back and you're in the limelight. I think they should have...
People stood up for him.
You know what? That's crazy. But somebody who's standing up for justice like Kaepernick, we pull all his endorsements. They pull his endorsements. This fool embarrasses the country, comes home and gets Dancing with the Stars. Am I the only one who thinks that's absolutely crazy?
You are not. A lot of people, obviously, a protester rushed the stage and agreed with you. And the hurt that was caused was not physical, but rather emotional and mental, as the protesters were bum rushed off quickly by security during the live taping Monday night. ABC did a good job of not showing what was going on. However, Lochte is quoted later as saying, "I'm a little hurt. You know, at that moment, I was heartbroken. My heart just sunk. It felt like somebody had ripped it apart." And though the taping was live, the protest wasn't shown, but rather a quick cut to the judge, Carrie Ann Inaba, yelling, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." And his dancing partner, Cheryl Burke, said she was shocked but completely proud of him. Vanilla Ice, Robert Van Winkle, also on DWTS, was quoted as saying, "He's a hero and a great guy on top of that."
How is it? Where's his hero list of heroes? Because I know some heroes, and he does not compare to to that at all. So where's his what is it? Heroism?
Listen,
where's that came in now?
He's just a good kid who made a bad decision.
Oh, I know a lot of good kids that make bad decisions that end up on the street dead.
Or in jail, or better yet, a lot of good kids that aren't 32 years old. People forget that he's
a grown.
Like, he's a grown man.
This was not Junior Olympics.
This just happened.
This was grown ass Olympics.
He's a man. He lied about getting robbed. He named, like, he had a whole story concocted, and then before anything could happen, he flew out of Brazil back to America. If you did that in America, you should be at least arrested for false charges.
Yes.
Because he actually implemented Brazilian kids. What if they went after a couple
these kids and
hurt them or found them and imprisoned them based on his word?
Because a lot of them kids look alike, so you just come up with this, and then they snatched up 4 kids that are doing hard time because they attacked an American, because for some reason we're just on this super pedestal, and then we're over here acting stupid.
Of course, the same thing happened when it came to the, what's the park in New York? What's the big park in New York, the main park. Everyone knows this park. It's the...
Oh, yeah.
It's always in...
Yes, I know exactly what you're... we know the park.
How
you
do we
guys
not
know the park.
It's
I don't know. I'm blanking.
Not Manhattan Park. Not
Central Park.
Central Park. Thank
yes.
you. Thank you. Headphones. Okay. Central Park.
Yes.
The Central Park 5 is about a bunch of 5 kids who were erroneously... accused of raping a woman,
yes,
and all got sentenced to lengthy time in jail as minors at 14 and 15 for a crime they did not commit. that's what this leads to. It leads to a problem. Not only did he basically take a stereotype about Brazil and make it real, he also took the lie and made himself the hero.
Yes.
He fought off these attackers, would-be attackers, saved someone's life, saved him and his friends' lives, and they made it out alive, all because he was just drunk and late getting back for curfew.
And he did vandalize some stuff. He did a
He
whole bunch.
vandalized, exactly. And so for him to even come out of his mouth to be hurt and shocked and
I was hurt and shocked while I was watching the news and found out you was a grown lie. I was sitting there going, "Oh, you just gonna embarrass the country like that? They already think we ain't shit. Why would you do this? There's no reason for him to. You're hurt. You know people are upset about this. This is not a surprise to you. It's not like they just showed up to attack you and say we hate. You know why people are upset with you. You know you don't even have no business being on Dancing with the Stars. You know you're a full blown lie, and you know that you don't care. And that's
and
what
are
it
you
is.
even really a star anymore? I
No.
mean, you wouldn't have other people in this situation on that show.
No.
You wouldn't have Bill Cosby on
Chris
the show.
Brown can't go on there tonight. He's the best dancer I
Yeah,
know.
Chris Brown.
But y'all ain't gonna put him on there.
And that's the thing. And this is where people are blurred with, is this a form of white privilege?
Yes.
Is that we excuse the behavior of white, especially males, because white privilege doesn't always extend to white females.
I feel like it's white men that can swim, just like the little raper boy that got out in 3. I feel like
Stanford
if you can
swimmer.
swim, you might as well just start swimming.
You have the highest form of white privilege.
Yes, if you're a white
swimmers.
swimming male, you can
That's
get away
why
with
they
anything.
push the stereotype that black people can't swim.
So we
Oh,
can't get away
wow.
with nothing.
Until we finally got a gold medal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's just interesting. It's interesting to me. And I hate always throwing the card of white
Yes,
privilege
yes.
versus black card. Because some things that we try to claim as racial is not. Like, I'll be very honest. There's a lot of those I got shot by the police stories that as black people, we know he kind of deserved to get shot. Like, we kind of know what happened. Like, you pointed a gun or you did this or you're that
Yeah.
guy. Sure. And even though we try to make a big deal out of it, there's times. Of course, there's many times that is not the case. But there's a difference.
Yes.
We kind of differentiate the difference. I feel like it's easy to throw out the white privilege card every single time. But in this case, there's got to be a form of something. There is something. There is
It's just
some
not
type of
adding up.
cover up
Yeah.
that's not average. I've never seen so many people back up someone who did something so wrong. Ever. Because if that was me, I feel like I would have been in jail.
A hero is just took it to a whole nother level.
Hero.
Hero?
Hero.
The hero? All I hear is Mariah Carey, and a hero comes along.
And then Ryan
You're not
Lochte
it.
just walks out
with
with
a
his
strength
beach
to
blonde
carry
hair.
on.
You know, and he's a great swimmer. He's a great swimmer. But let's be honest. Even when homeboy, who's the other swimmer guy? What's his name? Why can't I remember anyone's name?
Anytime you put me on the spot, I blank. Like if I commit a crime,
The
I'm
other
done.
swimmer guy.
I know.
He was like
Why I want to call him Lance Brance?
Lance Armstrong.
Yes.
No, that's not his name.
What
He's
is
the
this?
other swimmer guy that won.
Come on, guys.
They were giving him gold medals in events he wasn't even in.
Yes,
They just
we
giving-
know his
They had
name.
a clock. They had a clock that was running, showing how often he won a gold medal.
Yes.
We watched it together.
I don't know why we are one blank set.
This is why we need Nate Jackson.
Because he
Nate
knows
remembers names.
We're artists. There's so many things in our head.
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on, everybody knows Michael Phelps.
Michael
Jeez.
Phelps. Thank you. Right? When he smoked weed, they kind of excused that a little.
Yeah.
They kind of made jokes about weedies and this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have done the same thing for an African American. I mean, we've seen what happened to Gabby Douglas.
Yes.
We've seen what happened to other African American Olympians who have done something very trivial and it's been blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a race thing or not. I want it to stop being a race thing. And it's crazy to me because there's a conversation that has to be had is, what exactly do I want? Do I want no one to have privilege, or do I just want everyone to have privilege? Like, do I want everyone to equally be getting shot by the police? Or is it because I don't want people to actually get shot by the police?
I
It's a
get it.
conversation that we really need to have as a country and as a crew. Maybe we'll bring it up on one of our good topical shows where we just
Yes.
forgo the news and talk about real topics. So make sure to check out some of our old episodes.
Yes.
And please tell your friends to tell their friends, because our show is one of the most fun shows on BHL, Black Hollywood
Yeah, it
Live.
is.
And if you don't believe me, watch it, because boom, 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 boom. Yeah. You know, this chair makes me want to roll my shoulders too. Yeah. With musical inclination, R&B supergroup Bel Biv Devoe actually just debuted their video to their new song Run. The former members of New Edition had not released a song since 2001. Let's catch a clip of this song.
Why is he looking younger and younger every year too? I can't take it.
That's got to be old. That's old. If you see the video, you wouldn't think that. You can start it somewhere in the middle. Just pick somewhere in the middle and start it from there because it's got to be something. Yeah, right there is great.
First of all, this looks like when Nelly first came out.
Hilarious.
I'm waiting for it to get hot in her.
Hilarious. There we go. So we're going to start the video just in the middle in a random location just so you can get a feel for the song and the look and group.
If this doesn't outdo Poison, I'm going to be hot. That girl is poison.
Nothing will ever outdo Poison. Nothing will ever outdo Poison. Poison was a classic song. Like Poison, Bel Biv Devoe, that is their song.
Yes, it is.
So you can't mess with Poison. You understand? Poison is that song.
Name another
where-
Bel Biv DeVoe song.
Poison.
The Poison remix.
I can name Boys to Men and ABD, BBD.
BBC, the East Coast Family.
See? It's like BBC. No, I think you're thinking of another
Oh.
aspect of Bel Biv DeVoe that I'm just not really into, okay? Like,
Oh.
yeah, no, that's the thing. Like,
Oh.
yeah,
It just hit me.
Here we go.
Okay, hold on.
So that's Michael Bevins. Here we go.
I'm so sick of this. Give me kiss, then you split. Tell me you care, but give me time limited, girl. Where do you run? So tell me what I'm supposed to do when I can have any other, but girl, I want you. And tell me what I'm supposed to
I'm about to have this in my inbox so many times.
You like this song?
I don't, but I sound like the girl they're upset about. That be running.
They look to me. They came off. Oh my God. Okay, let's cut that. Let's
Why
cut
is
that
he
'cause
hurting so bad?
They look like. Listen, they look hurt when they're dancing. Like they.
Yes.
Bel Biv DeVoe looks. They look old.
They do.
And they
have
are
on some-
old.
They got some of their old outfits back too.
Yeah, they brought it, but like they really don't. It's almost as if the '90s never ended for them.
Yeah, you know what? I would
That was
have
a 90s video.
appreciated something more mature from
And
them.
exactly.
That's what I would have appreciated because this is not for them.
And it's something that I feel some artists from the '90s coming back have done. They come back a little more mature. You know,
Yeah.
they're mature. They act their age group. Tank,
Yes.
for example.
But this is just
Who's the Love and Basketball singer? Maxwell.
Oh, man.
Maxwell's very mature.
God you can call. Oh, that's my song.
That song is great. D'Angelo came back. He came back a little more mature, making appropriate age.
Yes, but
age
these
appropriate
guys,
song.
like they're doing it right now. Every girl in that video is their niece
They're
because they cannot
trying-
holler at none of them.
Exactly. They are trying to reclaim it. I hope they do. Good for you boys for living that dream. But you guys do know that it's almost like the age old, they've lived so long that they're going to actually hinder their legacy.
Yeah, let it go. But you know what? They should have just did Poison. They should have just brought Poison back. They did a Poison remix. And
no one's going to be like requesting Run at the radio.
No.
Like run from the song. Yeah,
Aw.
they're not gonna. It's true though. It's true. I mean, it's very true.
It is.
Going back to our white girl theme,
Yay!
Iggy Azalea, alleged rapper Iggy Azalea, is back in the tabloids, this time for being romantically linked to bad boy French Montana, whose former romantic affiliates have included Trina and Khloe Kardashian. When confronted by TMZ cameras, Iggy claimed French is just a friend.
And you say he's just a friend. Hey. And you say he's just a friend.
Oh, baby,
Iggy,
you.
please. I seen them kissing on some.
Well, we have a picture of them kissing, so
Oh.
we've seen this.
Yep,
Like
that's the
Iggy
one I
Azalea,
seen.
boom, right there. We've seen that. Even though she looks like she doesn't want to be kissing French.
She
like I've
doesn't.
seen this kind of kiss. This is the she's kind of drunk kiss, I feel like.
Yeah.
And French just went in for it. But they've been linked.
He might just be a bad kisser. The worst thing in the world is to have a crush on somebody and they can't kiss. It will kill everything. So it looks like she got the kiss and was going, yeah, this ain't gonna work out. Like that's exactly what just
I
happened.
wonder
here.
if like I've always like I mean I hope I'm a good kisser. I'm attentive. I have a certain way.
Oh my God,
hope-
I take a lot of pride in kissing. So.
Well, good. So I just hope I'm a
I
good.
love-
Because as a man, I think it's actually very important. I don't know if French is a bad kisser or not. I don't want no problems with Puff or French or any of the Bad Boy family. I'm just simply saying French gets a lot of play.
Yeah.
He stays out there. Like he stays in the like a lot of rappers get play, but it's from groupies, it's from fans, it's from like random girls, it's from strippers, but he stays getting the industry
He
chicks.
does. And then they're not there
He's
that
using
long
it
because
the
he can't
best.
kiss. So he got to get another one. Like, well, all right, French.
The
Like,
funny thing is he's using this to his advantage. He's using this to advantage because he wasn't getting this before. He actually divorced his wife once he made it.
Yeah, he did.
He divorced
which
her.
is
He let her go. The wife who's been holding him down. And then
They always do that, though.
And then he broke up with Trina, who also said she was holding him down for a minute while he was actually getting his divorce. So that's the thing. In the last story, real quick, more with Chris Brown, as if he hasn't been in enough trouble. This time, his temper flared at the Power 106 charity basketball game at USC, where Brown was videotaped yelling at security for trying to remove his entourage from VIP. Brown security and USC staff security had a brief showdown when Brown came over yelling. Power 106 staff stepped in and cooler heads prevailed. The official story is that Brown went off on a fan who snuck into the wrong section. Let's play this video because we got to get out of here. Let's just play this video. Chris Brown just jumping in. Look. Just yelling at everybody.
He is so fine. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
I love a man with a temper.
So, you know what? Okay, let's go.
Did he say I'm Bompton? Ah! Is that what he said? Please tell me that's what he
It's
said.
probably something he said. Look. But here's the thing. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to be this guy. He has people that should handle this stuff. Like, you get in trouble with the police all the time. At some point, it's not everyone else, Chris. At some point, it's you.
That's what I'm saying. If he would have had me there, I could have handled this. But see, this is what he's saying with his family. See, something had happened. I had seen him tweet out, and he was saying that it wasn't what everybody thought it was. That something was happening. His family was there, and you're not gonna be messing with his family. It wasn't the entourage. He kept saying, "My family is here. His blood family is there," and that's why he stepped in. But yeah, he does look real hot tempered right there. But it's just like
100%. They said they didn't have the wristband, couldn't stay there. I don't know. I just think he just needs to let people handle that.
Yes.
Jay-Z, the best video I've ever seen of Jay-Z, and I'm a very big Jay-Z fan just of his career and just the person he is and the way he moves. Remember Solange in the elevator?
Yeah.
And Jay-Z just stayed calm.
Yes.
Of course he wanted to knock her out. Like, there's no way that he didn't just want to put hands on her or yell at her or raise his voice. But there's an actual ancient, like very old poetic Persian saying, raise your words, not your voice. Rain makes flowers grow, not thunder. And that's a real thing.
I like that.
It's like, be a part of your actions and be responsible for them. So as much as I like Chris Brown, and I really actually like Chris Brown, I like Chris Brown as a person, I like him as an artist, and I think he could have been one of the greats. To me, he's the newest Michael Jackson. But unfortunately, these actions and antics overshadow everything he does. So I hope Chris Brown actually does watch our show, and he invites us into his life.
Let me get on the list, Chris.
Because if we get on the list, we're going to take care of you. Kanisha's taking charges. I'm giving sound advice. And that's what we do here at Headlines with Headliners every single week. Nate Jackson out for a week. Hopefully he'll be back next week as he's on the road. I'm Tehran Von Ghasri.
Kanisha Bus.
Make sure to find me at I Am Tehran on all social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. And I'm at the Laugh Factory every Monday and Thursday at 10.
Hey, check me out over on All Def Digital and SiriusXM.
And find Nate Jackson at Mr. Nate Jackson. That's what it is. And if you see his car, it'll tell you everything you need to know about Nate. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, and tell your friends. Write us in the comments below. We'll see you next week. Headlines with Headliners. We're out.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Keven Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.